now looking at a few of the strategies that we help our clients achieve wealth and help them purchase property. We'll start off with one that's really appropriate to our first home buyers. This is what's called the First Home Buyer Super Saver Scheme. Now, when we meet with these clients, we first of all look to run an effective budget, looking to understand what their surplus is and how much we can direct into this scheme to make sure they stay above water. So let's take this client here, earning $60,000 a year. They look to take full advantage of the scheme, putting $15,000 per year into their superannuation for a total of $50,000. From each paycheck each week, they see a reduction of $189. However, the amount that's going towards the scheme is $289 due to the difference in the tax treatments. This client is taxed at 34.5%, including the Medicare levy, whereas superannuation is capped at 15%. Now, when it comes time for the client to purchase their first home, they can withdraw these funds out of super and then use them for the deposit. Now, after 4 years, this investment inside their super has been deemed and grown to $59,962. In addition to this, they've also saved themselves $9,750 in tax. Now, that's almost $20,000 of value just by altering the direction in which they're saving for their first home. The strategy that we run through a lot of our clients with is releasing equity. If we take a client here who's just purchased their first home, perhaps, the current value is $500,000 and they've taken out a loan of $400,000. Again, we meet with the clients and we look to run a budget to see what their surplus is. We then direct this surplus into the home loan, helping them pay this down a little bit quicker. The client then may perhaps complete some cosmetic renovations. This, in combination with a few years' time to allow the property to grow in value, we see the same property now is valued as $650,000, and they've been able to pay down their loan to $350,000. What we do now is the client goes and refinances their property, releasing this equity to then purchase a second investment property. And you'll notice the leverage on the second investment property is higher, as this is a tax deduction to the client. Some further debt management strategies. When we meet with the clients and we understand what their surplus is and how much additional funds that they can use to either invest or achieve their goals, we can help them by running some modeling and looking at how long it would take them to pay off their loan, generally around 30 years as a standard loan term. We can then advise and say, okay, what happens if we put $100 a week into this loan? How much better off will you be? Or even, what happens if we put $200 a week into this loan? For this client here, we can see that they're reducing the loan term by 12 years, almost halving the loan term. And they save just over $86,000 in interest. You can see a very strong strategy. Finishing up on one of our last points we always want to make sure that we're getting across to our clients is making sure that we're considering diversification. Property as an asset class is fantastic, but making sure that we're coupling this with a diversified portfolio and a diversified strategy is a way to safeguard our wealth and retirement planning. What we love to see is when a client has a property, perhaps inside their self-managed super fund, sitting alongside a diversified portfolio of shares or managed funds or ETFs. As we can see here, across all asset classes, they move differently through time. However, they do all grow in value. Making sure that we're protected from any single one sector suffering is a great way to make sure we have continued success.